What's up, y'all? Serrano786 here for a Destiny 2 video. I wanted to talk today a little bit about crafting and ascendant alloys in Destiny 2. Now, there are a lot of hot takes on this. Now, overall, I will say I think the crafting system in Destiny, when they introduced that with the Witch Queen, was a great idea. I understand the idea of trying to help players with inventory space and helping players have a system where they can create the weapons that best suit their play style and what type of activities they are into. The problem starts, though, when you start looking at these enhanced traits in the Ascendant alloys. Now, I understand the idea the Ascendant alloys were supposed to be like Ascendant shards. They were supposed to be a resource where you had to do high-level content, master weekly campaigns, exotic quest in order to get these alloys, and they were a chance to drop. The problem is with their scarcity is I end up feeling like Gollum, and I hoard these, and when I get to a high enough level to use those enhanced traits, I don't buy them because I'm afraid that this enhanced trait that I buy is not going to be worth it. And all that time that I spent in an activity, a master mode, an exotic quest, having to find a group in Destiny 2 looking for group, having some friends, if you have friends to play with in this game, to get together, do this harder content, and then have a chance for an Ascendant alloy to drop. This scarcity makes it more of, that's just one other thing I'm holding on to. One other thing I'm holding on to because I'm not quite sure if this enhanced trait is worth it. What they should do, and I'm not a developer, so what I'm saying may be easy on paper, like topical, might be easy to say, but increase the amount of alloys it takes. Like I wouldn't mind if it took 4 alloys, right? 4 alloys to give me the ability to change out those traits whenever I wanted. And maybe cost, I don't know, 10k, 15k, 25k glimmer every single time I change out those traits. But only after you spend the 4 are you able to change those out whenever you want. I don't understand why Bungie stops you from doing that. And Bungie has gaslit us this entire time that this is something good, this is something you want, and like that toxic relationship that you're in when you're being gaslit, you believe it, but what you end up doing is you become scared of a certain part of that process, and you become scared of like, oh, I don't want to waste these alloys, I don't want to use this all this time that I spent farming these things into something that may not be good. And so it's this vicious circle of like, I end up making all these weapons and I never buy the enhanced traits unless I know this god roll is the best god roll to go. The problem is early on in the process of crafting these weapons, you don't know, especially with this new expansion, you don't know what the best god rolls are for everything. And sometimes for some weapons, there's more than one roll that you want to do. Maybe there's a PvE roll. Maybe there's a PvP roll. Maybe there's 2 PvE rolls. Regnant, for example, the new heavy grenade launcher, the Void one. You can have a really good boss DPS heavy grenade launcher with auto loading and explosive light, which is great for boss DPS. But maybe you want to use something for GMs when they come out in April, like repulsor brace and destabilizing rounds, which is going to be really good for debuffing and clearing ads and being able to deal with champions. But then you're like, okay, now I have to have 2 Regnants. The other problem is then you have to level 2 separate weapons. Aikilos SMG is another prime example. You can have a really good roll for PvE with Jolt Shot and whatever else, Feeding Frenzy, and then you want a PvP roll with whatever that ends up being because it's kind of, to the player. But then, again, we come back to the problem of, oh, I have to go back, I have to farm more alloys, I have to have level 2 separate weapons. Realistically, if you want to get the best roll and have it to the point where it's a good weapon, you have to level up to level 20, right? That's the other problem. You have to level it up to level 20. So that's a whole nother weapon that you have to level if it's only 2 rolls, right? What if, like, Regnant, maybe there's a really good PvP roll for Regnant, then that's 3 weapons. Ugh, Bungie, why have you gaslit me to believe this is so good? And it is good, right? It's a step, I should say, it's a step in the right direction. But there's room for improvement. I guess is all I'm saying. There's room for improvement. It needs to be improved. Taking away, you know, what they've already did, all those different resources from the beginning. It seems like they're trying to move towards that, but I still feel like they need to do something with the alloys. They need to do something with the alloys. They need to either, 1, make it easier to farm alloys, or 2, give us the ability to spend a certain amount of alloys and then be able to change those traits by, even if we have to go back to the crafting table and change them on the table, give us the ability to change them but not have to spend those alloys every single time. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video or you agree with this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this on the comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and stay spicy out there.